All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. You guys ready for this? This is going to be fun.
Definitely.
Today, we're looking at the crypto market.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Always a good time.
It really is. And particularly today, we're looking at this article. Cryptocurrency market sees significant earnings as Ethereum takes center stage. You know, I got to say, just reading the headline, Ethereum taking center stage, that's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, definitely seems like things are kind of shifting a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It used to be all about Bitcoin, but
Right.
now...
It was like the only game in town.
Exactly. And now Ethereum is really making a move.
Yeah, and they're not kidding around.
Yeah.
Look at this. Ethereum is up 7%.
Wow.
Hitting $3,836.
That's impressive.
I mean, Bitcoin, you know, respectable 1% gains.
Sure.
But Ethereum is just blowing it out of the water.
Really taking the lead.
And they talk about here, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at 78, which is considered extreme greed.
That's pretty high.
That's
That means people are getting excited.
It does. And maybe a little too excited. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Solana's also up 2%.
Right?
So, you know, things are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
For the market overall, and the total market cap is at $3.73 trillion.
Wow.
So things are moving and shaking for sure.
Definitely a lot of action.
But I'm really curious about this whole Ethereum thing and why it's doing so well.
Yeah.
They quote this guy, Michael Van Pop, who's like a crypto analyst.
I know him.
And he's talking about this bullish divergence
Ah, yes.
in the ETH HBTC relative strength index.
Yeah.
Now, I got to be honest.
Okay.
That sounds a little like,
Complicated.
yeah, a little complicated for me.
Yeah, sure.
Can you explain what all that means?
Absolutely. So basically, it's a way to look at the price of Ethereum compared to Bitcoin
Okay.
over time. And usually when the price is going down, you'd expect a momentum indicator like the RSI to also go down.
Okay, that makes sense.
But in this case, the RSI is actually showing signs of strength, even though the price relative to Bitcoin has been kind of dropping a bit.
So it's like
It's a little bit of a mixed signal.
mixed signal, but it's kind of like maybe a hint that things could be turning around.
Exactly. It's like a little sneak peek.
Okay, I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
But okay, now this is where it gets really interesting to me.
Okay.
South Korea, right? President Yoon Suk Yeol declares martial law,
Wow.
and suddenly Bitcoin prices on Upbit, which is this big South Korean exchange, they plummet to $65,000. That's pretty
It
dramatic.
is. So what's the connection there? Why would that happen just in South Korea?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it really shows how sensitive these crypto markets can be to geopolitics, right?
Right.
Like things happening in the world could really shake things up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's possible that in South Korea, you know, they have their own regulations, their own concerns. Maybe investors there reacted more intensely because of something specific to their situation.
Okay.
Even though crypto is global,
Nice.
you can still have these like little localized fluctuations.
So it's kind of like global markets, but local shocks?
Exactly. It's a complex system.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of makes you realize just how many things are at play in this crypto world, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so then the article also mentions all these liquidations.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
over 164,000 traders got wiped out.
Wow.
Total of $418 million gone in just 24 hours.
Yeah.
So
Liquidation.
can you explain what happened there? Like, what are liquidations and how does that even happen?
Sure. So basically when you're trading crypto, especially if you're using leverage,
good.
which means you're borrowing money to kind of amplify your bets.
Got it.
If the market moves against you,
Oh.
your position gets automatically closed
Oh.
to prevent you from losing even more
Okay.
money. And this can create this kind of domino effect
Oh.
where one liquidation leads to another.
see.
And in this case, they were talking about Ethereum short positions getting hit hard.
No, wait a minute.
Back up, what are short positions?
Oh, yeah. So basically, shorten means you're betting against the price going up.
Okay.
So these traders were hoping Ethereum would go down,
right.
but when it surged instead,
Oh.
they lost big time.
So leverage, it's like high risk, high reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta be careful.
You got to know what you're doing.
Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit here. The article also talks about the U.S. stock market doing pretty well.
Yeah.
All the major indexes are up.
Mhm.
So is there like a connection between traditional markets and the crypto world these days?
Yeah, there's definitely a growing correlation. You know,
Hmm.
crypto used to be this kind of separate thing.
Own little world.
Exactly. But now you've got all these big institutional investors like hedge funds, pension funds.
Wow.
They're getting into crypto.
Interesting.
So that means that, what's happening in the stock market, those economic indicators, they can actually influence both worlds.
So like the U.S. employment data that's coming out?
Exactly, that could have an impact.
Wow. Okay, so I guess the big question is, with all this going on, is Ethereum's rise like a temporary thing, or is it really going to change the whole
That's
game?
the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tough to say for sure, but,
Yeah.
one thing's for certain,
What's that?
crypto is never boring.
I'll say. And it really makes you think, will Ethereum actually overtake Bitcoin someday?
Who knows?
It's going to be interesting to watch.
Definitely.
All right, everybody, that's our deep dive for today. Keep exploring this crazy world of crypto.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you, Dan.